Welcome to Stop Wasting Your Wine, a wine review podcast dedicated to helping you discover great wines with great value for every occasion. On this episode, we review
the Cantine Povero Nebbiolo 2022, and we interview Lucrezia Povero herself.
Wow, that's a lot going on. Action-packed episode today. Can't wait to get into it. I am Joel. Thank you for coming back to hang out with us. That's Aaron over there. How you doing?
I'm great. Fantastic.
Good.
I'm here too.
I think we got Colin back. Hey, Colin, how are you?
Hi, Colin.
Yeah, it's just one sickness. I was back last week too.
Are you okay, buddy?
I still hasn't landed that you're back. I got so used to you being gone that
Which one episode?
We're so worried about your health. We never know if you're going to show up anymore.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
Wow. Okay.
If you took that any other way, that's on you.
It's concern. It's concern about your well-being.
And I appreciate that, I think.
Hey, listen. I'm glad you're finally back because we got a good one today, Colin. We're going back to Italy, guys. And I got to tell you, I'm excited about this. We got to talk about this because I feel like we've been in Italy quite a bit. We've had a couple of Chiantis. I think we've been to, Piedmont maybe a couple of times. I think we have to get really serious about starting to kind of lock down our areas of Italy, get a good understanding of, what are our regions, what are our grapes. Do you guys have, we've dabbled a little bit, but do you guys have like a favorite Italian either region or grape?
Oh man.
At this point?
That is such
There's a reason I'm asking this question too.
I know.
Okay.
This is a trap.
It's
a trap.
Question. It is a trap.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, for me, it's like neck and neck Chianti, which, is Sangiovese, and the Piedmont, which is Nebbiolo. Like, they they're very similar, but also very different, right? Like, it's a completely different experience. You can find great wine out of both. God, if I had to pick just one, probably going... Oh, it's so tough.
Yes.
Probably going Chianti. I'm locking it in.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm open. I'm open to it because I think with the amount of Chianti and Chianti Classico we've had on the show, right? I'm starting to build that bias, especially because we've learned a lot about Chianti Classico. So now I feel more informed about that region.
Sure.
But we had that one Nebbiolo with Ashwin.
Yeah.
We had from the Lucrezia, and it was so good and so affordable. I am excited about what we're about to jump into, knowing that we are going to kind of go down a Nebbiolo rabbit hole for a few episodes and really dig into what that means. So I'm open to Piedmont and what's going on.
See, that's exactly why I asked this question. I'm glad you said that, Aaron, because we are about to embark on a couple of our upcoming episodes on a journey through Piedmont, okay? This is so excited to really kind of kick this off. We mentioned that we are interviewing Lucrezia Povero of Cantine Povero. They are kind enough to send us a couple of bottles that we're going to be featuring over the next couple of episodes here. So, like we mentioned, we're kicking it off today with the Langhe Nebbiolo to kind of introduce us back into Piedmont. In a couple of episodes, we're going to be enjoying a Barbaresco together. And then a little bit down the road, and this is the one that I'm most excited about, we'll be sharing a Barolo. So cannot wait to, just enjoy those wines with you guys. But then also to learn a little bit about, what makes a Langhe Nebbiolo different from a Barbaresco and a Barolo, So learning a little bit, but then also getting to try these wines that I think are going to be just really lovely and really fun. So going to be an exciting time, guys. What do you think?
I mean, and that's what I'm the most excited about, Joel, because I think one of the biggest jumps forward for me in my wine knowledge over the past year or so has been getting that fuller understanding of like the difference between Tuscany and Chianti Classico, and understanding that even though it could be Sangiovese, but there's higher degrees of standards and expectations depending on, the region or the tier that you're in. And that helps me when I'm finding better wine, and I'm excited to kind of get into that same concept here when we know like we're in the Langhe Valley and we know we're in the DOC with Nebbiolo, but then that you can dig in more with the DOCG Barolo or the DOCG Barbaresca, and they have different standards that we're going to learn about later. And so even though we're drinking Nebbiolo across the board, it's going to be a very different experience based on the specific region that it came from. And I think the fact that we got them all from the same winemaker is going to really help us see the specific difference in the regions, because we know we're not trying, different winemaker styles. So I think this is going to give us a really clear picture of how these different factors play into each of these bottles.
100%. And I just want to go back and change my answer to the opening question. I can't pick one. I'm sorry. I love
the flippy floppiest of flip flops.
I love that was weighing on you this whole time. You're like, I gotta go back and correct
I take it back.
Well, after talking about Nebbiolo, and listening to you guys, I was like, I can't choose one. So I love them both.
I'm gonna allow it because I totally agree. We'll ask the same question though in a couple of weeks when we've gone through this awesome voyage together, and see if maybe we got a little closer to deciding, what is our go-to at least when it comes to Italian wine. So baseline today, and then we'll check back. Okay.
Love it.
But yeah, kicking it off today. Let's get into this wine. I cannot wait. I don't want to wait too long before we get into the interview with Lucrezia, who was just amazing and so generous with her time and with sending us this great wine. So definitely want to get into that. But before that, I want to get into this wine today. So, Aaron, can you tell us a little bit about the wine that we're going to be trying today?
Yeah, absolutely. So as we mentioned, all of our wines during the series have been provided by the folks at Cantine Povero. Thank you very much. And, it is within Piedmont, the Langhe Valley. And this wine today is from the general DOC region. And we'll learn in a little bit, what that means for the winemaking and the expectations. It's 100% Nebbiolo. It's from 2022. And I actually looked this up. If we were to get this here, they're obviously focused in Italy, so I think this bottle runs you about €17, so it's about $20 American if we were to get it here, and it's 13.5% ABV.
Yeah, I found some prices online. I was looking it up, and I found one at 17, one at 22. So I would imagine somewhere in that range is probably where you'll find this one.
They do sell it on the side of the pond. You can find it. So, if we have a rave review at the end, you can find it, you can order it, you can pick it up, and we are going to, even though, we interviewed Lucrezia, we are excited to review all three of these wines honestly and thoughtfully like we always do.
Yeah, totally. I think that's a good call out. We're so grateful to our friends who do send us some wine, and we're also grateful to be able to continue to do our honest reviews and looking forward to continuing to do that as well. So what do you guys think? You want to go ahead and get into this thing a little bit?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
You couldn't stop me.
Let's do it. I'm not going to try to stop you.
Don't try.
Don't even try.
Don't even worry about it. I'm into it.
Tastes like wine.
Okay. What are you guys getting? Whoever wants to jump in.
So I'll jump in here. I'm getting the one thing that really sticks out to me as far as fruit is concerned is pomegranate. For some reason, it's just like the little thing that clicks every once in a while, and pomegranate is just the one thing I keep coming back to. There's a ton of other stuff in here. I don't know if you guys want to give it a shot, but I definitely have some more thoughts. So
sure.
I do think there's a little bit of that tobacco-y leatheriness in there outside of the fruit.
Yep, I don't disagree with that, but I'm definitely, the first thing I'm getting is a cherry note 100%. As well.
Yep, ton of cherry, ton of red fruit. I would even say a little bit of raspberry in there as well.
Yeah, yeah. 100%.
It's just, but it's all it's ripe, but it's fresh, if that makes sense. Like, it's not cooked or jammy smelling. It smells like you might be in the field eating some of these berries off the bushes. It's all very fresh smelling.
It's right on time.
Sure.
That's right.
On time.
It's right on time.
Little alcohol there too, Pekin, reminding you that it's there, even though it's only 13.5%. I'm getting a little bit there. I also opened my bottle not too long before we started going, but
I might have to open it up a little bit.
The other thing I'm getting is some Italian herbs for sure.
I was waiting for Italian herbs. I almost made a joke and asked you if you had any French herbs in there.
No, not French herbs, but Italian herbs for sure. There's
German
definitely an herbal undertone to this note, which is really nice.
Anyway. All right, let's drink it. I love Italian wines.
Me too, man.
Bias.
There's a certain...
Did I ever tell you guys I was Italian?
Yes.
I couldn't have guessed.
For some reason, every chance you get, which I don't understand. Like, we know, bro. Chill. No, we get it. There's a certain rusticity about Italian wines. Like, it's not necessarily polished, and I don't mean that in a bad way at all. It's just like it just kind of has that.
It's for
Italian,
the people, man.
It is right. Yeah, it kind of that vibe totally, and you totally get this in here. But I think a lot of what we called out is really good. The red fruits for sure. There are a ton of red fruits in here. I'm still getting a little bit of that pomegranate, honestly. The cherry, I think, is like super up front, and then. Yeah, maybe a little bit of raspberry, maybe a little strawberry on the palate. It's really red fruit heavy, just red fruits for days.
I think from a structure side, it's such like a medium of the road, like nice balance on everything. Like there's tannins, but they're not overbearing. Like you don't get sweater tongue. It's not gripping your entire mouth, but they're there, and it's a part of the sip in a really nice way. Like if you want to drink red and you're not like a big tannins person, like this wouldn't offend you. And if you like tannins, you'll appreciate this. It's like right there in the middle, and it's got that like medium heavy body. It's like a red, and it's bold, but it's not, over the top. It's a 2% milk. Would you go on this one? It's not whole milk.
What?
Yeah, it's got a little weight to it.
A little weight there. It's not skim milk.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Really nice acidity too, though. Like you can really think that the tannin and the acidity are really well in balance.
It's always good when they work
That's
together.
What I'm loving. It is true. Yeah. When they're all hitting the right notes and the right levels, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, you're getting that tannin though. You're right. It's not offensive tannin, but
no,
it's there. It's there. There's no doubt about it.
For sure.
Yeah,
probably on the more tannic side of wines than we usually drink, but it's very nice. It's very nice. It's not, like you said, it's not overly grippy or offensive, scratchy in any way. So.
I think maybe the big thing is it doesn't hang around in the way some overly tannic wines hang around. Like, you take that sip and you feel the grip and then it won't go away. And you feel like you gotta like drink some water or something. This is like you get that experience, but then it kind of goes about its business and does something else. It doesn't overstay its welcome.
For sure. Thank you, high acid, right? Like it's just boom.
It is
just
very
cleaning
nice
it up.
balanced. I'm also getting so much those herbs. I think there's a nice herbal undertone. I think
much more on the palate, I think, than on the nose.
For sure. I don't disagree with that at all. The one thing I will say, the flavors don't stick around for that long. Everything is very nice. And it's not like, last week we had the duck horn. It was just like high flavors, by flavors. They're still there, but the finish isn't very long, which is not a terrible knock on the wine, but the nice things don't linger as much as maybe I would like them to.
Maybe that is kind of aspect of the base Nebbiolo, DOC wine, right? It's like we're getting Nebbiolo. We're getting just the basics. Like this is what Nebbiolo is without the additional aging, refinement, expectations that would then go into something like a Barolo or into a Barbaresco. And so like, it's the starter version. But I appreciate you says like it's not a knock on the wine. It's just a note.
Right. For sure.
I think we've done it. I think that's a good first pass. Let's go ahead. Let's do a little learning, and then we'll come back to this thing. Okay. I think it's gonna be fun to see. We might get a little change on this one. So let's go ahead. Let's do a couple wine drops here, guys.
Time to drop some knowledge. Wine drops.
All right, gentlemen. Langhe, Barbaresco, Barolo. This is a lot to learn about. This is a lot to explore. This is going to be our world for the next couple of episodes. We're going to get to explore all of this together. Yeah, it sounds amazing. So let's take a minute here. We're going to learn about all of these. Let's specifically take a second to dive a little bit deeper into Langhe, what makes it what it is, and kind of what those designations are. So first, let's just talk, where the heck are we? What are we really talking about when we're talking about Langhe? So, Colin, can you expand a little bit more? Where is it? And, what, just at the end of the day, what kind of a place is it?
Yeah, sure. So, like we kind of mentioned, we are actually in the Piedmont or Piemonte region of Italy, which is northwest, if you're looking at it on the map. And it's a pretty unique area as far as landscape is concerned. It has a bunch of winding hills, and it's also known for a fog that rolls in every morning, which has a pretty interesting impact on the wine itself. It keeps it cool in the morning, allows it to build the acidity, but then the sun also helps it ripen. So you have that nice back and forth between cool and heat. And then, another thing, even though this is a wine podcast, to think about is truffles come from the Piedmont and the Langhe. So, if you're a big truffle fan, which
expensive.
Very, very expensive. This is where you're getting those as well. So, and we also mentioned this, within the Langhe, you will find Barolo and Barbaresco, where, of course, Nebbiolo is king. But Nebbiolo isn't the only grape grown in the Langhe. So, Aaron, what else are they growing up there?
So Nebbiolo is obviously the soul of the region. All the big famous wines coming out of there, generally sport Nebbiolo. But Barbera and Dolcetto are also local favorites. And, they're the more casual wines that you can find in the valley.
And those are actually the wines that the locals drink. If you actually ask what they're drinking, Dolcetto and Barbera are the two grapes.
It's those $1 or $2, euro glasses of wine that you hear about all the time. But now, when we think about the Langhe DOC, why is that important for Nebbiolo?
Yeah. So the Langhe DOC, a little bit more flexible, a little bit more wiggle room, a little bit more room to maybe try something a little bit different with the wine that you're making, while still being, it's still Piemonte. You're still being true to the Nebbiolo, true to the tradition of the Nebbiolo wine. So we're not talking about getting crazy here, but we are talking about having a little bit more freedom with the winemaking process. So Barolo, Barbaresco, following a very much more strict set of rules. We're talking about minimum aging times that they have to meet. Talk about different regulations when it actually comes to the vineyard and how they're growing the grapes. So, a little bit more experimental. You see a little bit of younger wines too, and some, more modern techniques for a Langhe than you will when we're talking Barolo and Barbaresco.
So just to set a baseline understanding, if folks walk away with nothing else this episode, if you just see Nebbiolo on the bottle, that is Langhe Nebbiolo, DOC. It might be younger, it's more flexible, it might have different standards. But if you see Barolo or Barbaresco, even though those are also Nebbiolo grapes, they came from a DOCG region that is going to be stricter, longer aging periods, stricter guidelines.
You've got it. Yep. I would say along with that, maybe a little heftier of a price tag. But yes, I think you've got
100%.
it.
Right. That's a really good point, Joel, because and we haven't really talked about this, but when people think about the Langhe, it's really the value region of the Piedmont when it comes to Nebbiolo, because, Barbaresco and Barolo are famous regions that wine collectors seek those wines out. But, the Le Sacrestia was also a Langhe Nebbiolo, and, that wine was fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's a ton of value in the Langhe because it doesn't have the prestige of the other two famous regions.
But I will say, just to toss out there for, and we haven't given our review yet, for Cantine Povero, when I was looking at the prices, and they are a smaller vineyard in the area, the difference between their base Nebbiolo and their Barolo is only $6 to $8. So,
wow.
So they are, I think there are a lot of places that are trying to keep it accessible. I'm sure there's a more aged, finer version of their Barolo that they have out there that costs more. But, it's not, you don't have to spend
You're not breaking
a ton of money to get a Barolo or get a Barbaresco.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's awesome.
Now I'm even more excited about getting into those down the road. Amazing. I got to go back and ask you because, Colin, you mentioned truffles a little bit ago. You got me thinking about food. I mean, we're in Italy.
Sure.
How do you think about wine and not think about food? So I got to ask you, what kind of food would you typically associate with a Langhe Nebbiolo and Langhe wines in general?
Yeah, I mean, Nebbiolo is a food wine through and through. I mean, the structure just is going to stand up to some of those more rich dishes. You know, we mentioned truffles, so anything you throw truffles on, whether it's risotto or pasta, is going to be a great fit. Also, braised meats, you know, this has the tannin structure to stand up some of those more intense meats. And then, you know, the Barbera and the Dolcetto, which we mentioned are also grown in the Langhe, great food wines as well. Those you can lean towards a little bit more of your pastas with red sauce and cured meats, roasted vegetables, that kind of stuff. So just amazing food wine through and through. If you have the opportunity to try some of those more rich, savory dishes, Piedmont wine is awesome to go with it. So, you know, as important as the food is, what the wine tastes like and what you can expect out of Langhe Nebbiolo is as important. So, Aaron, tell us a little bit about what standard Langhe Nebbiolo might give us as far as flavors and aromas are concerned.
Absolutely. And you know what? I've gotten this question past couple episodes. And so what I've done is I've gotten in the habit of not looking at our notes for this question until after our tasting, because I want to see how close we get. You know, we obviously put our notes together ahead of time. So, gentlemen, let's see if any of this feels familiar to our initial tastings of our Nebbiolo. So a Langhe Nebbiolo shows bright red fruit like cherry, raspberry, strawberry, along with some floral notes of rose and violet. Shame on you two for not specifically calling out rose or violet. Expect more of you. But
can I stop you? Can I stop you there? Because as you're reading this,
you get
floral note hits. Yeah, honestly, now that I'm reading it, like
sure.
And maybe it just inceptioned in there, but
sure.
I mean, I was way more on my game last time. I was buying flowers like 2 seconds before we did an episode. Now I'm off. But no, it's definitely there. You know, shout out to Colin. You called out, you know, those dried herbs. Touch of, and none of us named this, thank God, tar. Are any of you getting tar on yours?
You're going to find that in the more aged Nebbiolos.
I guess
you're
that makes
probably
sense.
not going to find that in a younger Langhe. But I have had some awesome. It is an incredible note when you find it. It's kind of like tennis balls or the petrol.
The petrol note
in Riesling. You know, it's very weird to talk about, but once you get it, it's like, oh God, give me more of that.
That's interesting.
Mean, that's quite the reaction to tar, but like, okay,
it's awesome.
But yeah, and you know what? We're definitely got that high acidity and those firm tannins like working well together. And you know, I'm excited to try, you know, the Barolo and the Barbaresco, because then we're going to get to experience a little bit more of the aged aspect of Nebbiolo and kind of see how that tweaks it into more like earthy and complex kind of wine.
Love it. I think we did a good job. Yeah, honestly,
I feel good about Nebbiolo.
I think we nailed it. Yeah. And I'm very intrigued by this tar note.
I hope we can
come across this down the line here.
Yeah, for sure.
If we say your wine tastes like tar, Colin, you know, promises that's a compliment.
Oh, 100%. If it's going to be anywhere, I bet it's going to be in the Barolo. That's probably where we'll find that.
Is that a smell note or a taste note?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to wait too long before we get into our awesome conversation with Lucrezia Povero. So let's go ahead. Let's get into our review, and then we'll jump into the interview.
Yeah, but did they like it? It's time for the review.
All right, so nobody picked this wine because, again, this was provided by the wonderful folks at Cantine Povero. So thank you again. But I will go ahead and take the honors of going last anyway for no reason at all. Wow. So, Aaron, I'm going to go ahead and throw it to you first.
Yeah, I mean, once again, while this was a wine sent to us, I feel no way obligated to, you know, fluff my review for this wine. It's a very good wine. Thank you all so much for sharing with us. It is very good. And knowing that it's a sub $20, accessible, lovely Nebbiolo, it's an absolute must share. If you can find this near you, grab a bottle. It's a great wine. They clearly put a lot of love into it. And I could drink this all day long. In fact, I have put more of a dent in my bottle of wine than I probably should have at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday. So absolute must share on my end.
That happens. That happens. Colin?
A lot.
Yeah, I think this is a great intro to Nebbiolo. If you've never had Nebbiolo before and you want to experience what it's about before you get into maybe some of the heavy hitters, this is a fantastic bottle of wine for that. You know, as we called out, it has a lot of the classic Nebbiolo flavors. The structure profile for Nebbiolo is, I would say, a little bit easier to get through on this one than some of the Barolos and Barbarescos, which have, you know, a little bit more intensity in the tannin. So for those reasons, for me, this is an absolute must share. I mean, just beyond that, it's just a delicious wine. You know, it's one of those ones that I just want to keep drinking. And for $17, you know, I mentioned the Langhe is pumping out some absolute value. This is one of those wines. Even $20, $22, honestly, I would happily pay that for this wine. So an absolute must share.
I just want to toss back to something you said very early on when you were tasting this, kind of like that rustic kind of bait. Like, this is such like a real tasting wine. Like, there's just nothing about this that feels forced or faked or, you know, modified. No. It's just such like a good, just representation of what Nebbiolo should be. You know, it's just great.
Yeah. You kind of, that's perfect segue into what I was going to say. I mean, this is just a purely good wine. And, you know, it's like everybody's kind of been saying, it's, a little bit of the intro, I think, to Nebbiolo itself. I think the intro to what Cantine Povero has to offer as well. And it's just lovely and enjoyable and, you know, kind of the perfect example of how, like we've said before, I mean, Italian wines, like, they're just good. And this is a really good example of a Langhe Nebbiolo. So, yeah, must share, really enjoyable, and gosh, I'm excited to continue down the line here. This is going to be a lot of fun.
For sure.
Yeah.
If this is the baseline, my God.
Right?
My God, man, I can't even imagine what the other two are gonna taste like, because this is awesome. So
that's what I'm saying.
Can't wait to try the other ones.
Totally agree. All right. Well, listen, so much fun getting into this bottle of wine, but was even more fun getting the opportunity to actually talk to Lucrezia about just, you know, her story, the story of Cantine Povero, and a little bit about just kind of the wine in general that they make and their philosophy of everything. So without further ado, please enjoy our conversation with Lucrezia Povero.
We're so excited to welcome Lucrezia Povero to the show. Lucrezia, thank you so much for joining us today. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I was very happy to meet you at Sip of Italy in New York City and to talk with you again tonight.
Yeah, that was so cool. It was exciting. It was one of the first stands Colin and I walked over. I think, Joel, you were stuck in a meeting, I think, at that point.
I was.
Unfortunately for you.
I was. Yes. So it's nice to actually meet you, Lucrezia. Very nice. Yeah.
Colin and I got to sit there for a while and have some awesome wine.
Awesome.
I heard wonderful things. So yeah, this is great. Yeah.
Thank you. I hope to be able to welcome to Italy as well, so we can see each other in person.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
That would be incredible.
Oh my gosh. Love that.
I saw in your email, you're like, please come out and see the vineyard. And I was like, okay, I guess.
Twist our arms. Yeah.
It'll definitely be on our stops when we do our Stop Wasting Your Wine tour of Italy.
World tour.
We'll definitely come see you. Absolutely. But in the meantime, for the listener at home, this is our 17th try to get the internet to work. So we are super excited that we are talking right now. And so we're going to dive right in, and I'm going to take the first question for you. So let me ask, so you are not new to the wine industry. You kind of grew up around vineyards and wine culture. What first inspired you to, you know, personally pursue a career in wine?
So I've always seen the dedication of my family toward our land and the quality of our wine. So I see the passion of my great-grandfather Giovanni, who's now 81 and he still comes to the winery every day.
Well, that's amazing.
Wow, that's so cool.
Or even my father, like he still wake up every day, not every day, but some days at 3:30 just to go to Lombardy and sell the wines there because he's in charge of sales. And also my uncles, Alessio and Daniele, who one is in charge of the winery and the other is in charge of the vineyard, that they work so tirelessly to make every day a better wine. And so they inspire me. And on the other side, I'm so grateful that they let me also study in California and in Japan to also have a broader view of the market. And I want to give back and always help them to establish our legacy.
Amazing.
That's amazing. I am incredibly jealous. Like that is just so cool. So they actually, so you were working with a family and they sent you to California to study. Did you like study with the vineyards out there, or did you go to horticulture school? Like what did you do in California?
So actually, I just looked up one day how to study in the US, and,
Yeah.
and there was this agency that helped you to get a scholarship, and they gave me 11 option or 13 option actually, and this one was the only one in California. It's a business school, Menlo College, and I love it because it was both close to Napa and Sonoma, and it was in the heart of the Silicon Valley. So a very dynamic environment. So I was very grateful for the experience.
Very cool.
That's awesome. And you have a great presence online, especially on Instagram, and you do a really good job sharing both tradition of your family and lifestyle around wine in general. So how do you balance honoring heritage with making wine approachable for people who might be getting into wine and the new generation of wine drinker?
So I manage the winery pages, so Cantine Povero and the Cascina Vengore, and I just showed their highlights of what's happening in the vineyards, in the winery, or somewhere over the world where we do an event. And I just show naturally what people might be interested in. While on my personal Instagram, I do not have a strategy. I just show part.
I can relate to that.
Yes, so I show part of my work that can be both something more genuine in the vineyards or in the winery, or some cool trip where I show my wines all over the world, or just something that can also I also share part of my personal life, and something that can be relatable to new generation. I think that new generation are very conscious of health, and I also like to be active and be healthy. And so I hope to show that wines can be part of a healthy, balanced lifestyle. And so welcome more people to drink. And another thing is that I'm very grateful that even if social media have a lot of negative aspects, like they make us lose a lot of time, but I'm grateful that they let me stay connected with my friends and clients all over the world. Even if I don't see them for years, I still not know what's going on in their life. So this can be a good way to connect also with the new generation.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
That's so cool. Yeah. And people now more than ever are drinking wine. They love the backstory. So I think how you're able to mix kind of your heritage with what you're doing around the world is a really cool way to get people interested in what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think it's like it's that, and I love just the mix too. It's the heritage, the history, very cool, but also just the mixing it in, like you kind of said, Lucrezia, with life. Like wine is a part of life, and there's other things going on, sure, but being able to kind of see, the broader picture and how it kind of intertwines into things, I think is really cool. So it does offer, I think a cool kind of perspective on things. But I wanted to go back to and just kind of ask, because I know you mentioned just being a part of, the wine world and your family kind of bringing you into it, and was, looking over the website for Cantine Povero. And I know it's been family run since 1964, but it's called out, really, really, front and center too on the website and just in all the literature, that it's actually been around for 200 years. So just, would love to hear a little bit more about that and kind of how, what carrying on that legacy of all of that history really kind of means to you.
Okay, so the winery, as you said, was officially founded in 1964, but we been making wine since 1837. However, at the beginning, wine was an agricultural product, so we were producing it without having a label. And but in 1964, a very good vintage gave to my grandfather Giovanni and the brother Michelino the courage to produce the first label with their own name. And
what a cool story.
so I'm very honored to help my family today to keep improving the quality of the wines and to showcase the true potential of both Roero, Langhe, Monferrato, and Alfieri, where we have our vineyards.
Amazing.
And now, and so making wine for almost 200 years, and then founding the winery in 1964. But then your winery made a shift towards organic farming in 1998, and now it is fully certified. And I know that's a really big deal. Maybe you could talk to a little bit what that means. I think maybe a lot of our new listeners and folks who have only just started getting into wine might not know how big of a deal it is to be organic and certified in Europe. And so what's been some of the biggest challenges and rewards to shifting towards sustainability?
Okay, so as you said, we transitioned to organic. We started the transition in 1998. We were pioneer at the time, so there were a lot of winery. Organic farming means that you cannot use chemicals or synthetic fertilizer, but you can only fertilize with organic fertilizer, copper, and sulfur. And this is very challenging in Piedmont because we have a lot of rain, particularly in the spring and in the early summer. And these make the vineyards more vulnerable to fungi disease, like powdery mildew and downy mildew are the name of the disease. And this is even worse during climate change because the rainfall are less predictable. However, and the summer are hotter. But we are happy to be organic, and my family, we still live among the vineyards. So the first reason was that my parents didn't want me and my sisters to breathe chemicals. And we started, as I told you, in 1998, and my family also named a wine after me because it came after the first organic vineyards. And I was the first of the new generation.
Nice.
So and this is the Santa Lucrezia, they name it because Lucrezia was already taken. And this and Santa means like holy, but I think it just sounded nice for a name of a wine.
It's perfect.
And yes, this is DOC is the name of the wine from Tenuta Laramé, which is one estate that we have in the Roero area where we make only single vineyards wine. And the transition to organic completed in 2016. I've always been very touched by this because my family, when we grew up, was eating a lot of organic food just to taste if the quality was actually good. And this also made me become vegan when I was only 10, always very conscious about what I eat. And so today our wines are all certified sustainable, and most of them are also vegan certified.
Wow. Very cool. That's awesome. That's a big thing too with the younger generation. Like they love to see that kind of stuff. Really big. Yeah.
And another thing, this is a big topic for me, sorry. It's in 2012.
No, please. Yeah, that's awesome.
In 2012, with the help, of course, of my family, me and my two sisters officially started Cascina Vengore, which is a boutique winery where we produce 5 certified organic wine in the Terra Alfieri area.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome. I'll definitely put that information in the show notes too, so people can check out everything here. Very cool. So you mentioned that you guys grow wine all across the Piemonte region, and you talked a little bit about climate change, and I'd love to just know how, not only do the different terroir in the different regions kind of influence the wine, but also, how does climate change really influence what you're able to bring to the table?
Okay, so we had very hot and dry vintages, particularly in 22 and 23, but after 24 and 25, we had rain again. The biggest thing is the unpredictability. So we have this very strong storm called the bombe d'acqua in Italian, that they can be very dangerous for the vineyards and also for the people who are around when it happens. And so these are one of the main things of climate change. Another thing is that the winter is less cold, so the wine does not rest as it used to. And sometimes the spring starts too early, and this can cause the frost. So when the temperature are too warm, we have the sprout in the vine, but after some cold temperature come back and the sprout die.
Kills the oh man, that's brutal. That's
exactly awful. But we, of course, I think human beings always adapt. We should do as much as we can to lower our carbon footprint, but I think we will always adapt. So for example, now we leave more leaves in the vineyards to protect the grapes from the sun and give them some shade.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. So tell us a little bit about your portfolio, because I was looking on your website and you make everything from white wine to, Nebbiolo with some sparkling wine I even saw in there. So tell us a little bit about the range of wines that you guys are offering.
Okay, so Cantine Povero is the historic winery, and there we have different kind of more iconic wine, like Barolo, Barbaresco, and Barbera d'Asti, Moscato d'Asti, or also more easy drinking, enjoyable, quaffable wine like Pinot or Cortese or a Chardonnay. And we also have a sparkling wine, both with the Charmin, the traditional method. And this is also one of the strengths of Cantine Povero, because we can offer a variety of expression of our lens, and so target also different needs and let us be successful in different markets. On the other side, the two agricultural estates that are Tenuta Laramé and Cascina Vengore offer Tenuta Laramé 6 wines from the Roero area, and the Cascina Vengore 5 wines from the Terra Alfieri area.
A lot for us to explore there.
You guys are busy, huh?
Yeah.
I know. You will receive from our importer Bolio Imports one sample of a Barbarolo, Barbaresco, and the Langhe Nebbiolo. So three expression of Nebbiolo.
Oh, that's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Thank you. I look forward to that so much. Yeah, sounds amazing.
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, love
It's
that.
like Christmas.
And it is. Yes, absolutely.
I'm excited to hear your feedback as well.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. And speaking just of being excited, and I love hearing the history of your history, Lucrezia, and hearing about the history of the vineyard and the family and all that good stuff. But I was wondering too, you talk very much about looking forward and being in the now and bringing in a new generation too of drinkers. So I was going to ask, what are the things that you're most excited about, for the future of Cantine Povero? And, is there anything that maybe coming soon that you want to share with us, or just anything that you're really, really excited about right now?
Okay, so last year we just opened Le Querce del Bareglio, which is a farm hotel with 14 rooms, 1 restaurant, and a horse riding school. And this is the first time that we invested in the hospitality. And so I think that in the future, I see more tourists coming to Italy, and it's very beautiful that if they see the beauty of our hills, they are also, they can appreciate more our wines. So this,
Absolutely.
I think I see an increase in the tourism, because a new generation value experience much more than a product. So I think it's a good way also to target the new generation, both from Italy and from the world. Another, from the sustainability side, we now have, for example, all the energy that we produce during the day come from solar panels.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I would love in the future to be off the grid also at night. So it could be something to work for the future. On the export side, there is a lot of potential in Asia, where we are already present, but not in all the country. So every year we do like a mission in a country where we are not present yet. And this year I'm very excited that I will have an event in the Philippines, which is a country that I really love.
Yeah.
Because I have friends from there as well. And maybe in the future, I also see good statistics from Malaysia that we are not present there, but I know it's a market that is growing. And as far as the taste profile of wine, I think people appreciate more fruity, light body wine. But I think we want to be always true to what we believe is the best expression of our terroir. But on the other side, we have different wines. So there is always one that is more aligned with the trend.
Sure. Yeah. Cool. No, that makes sense.
And I think I think you briefly mentioned something. You have a side project with your sister too, right? Do you want to explain a little bit more about that? I'd love to hear just more about what that's all about.
Exactly. So Cascina Vengore is a small winery that is managed by me and my two sisters. We have there 16 hectares of organic vineyards, and we craft there 5 certified organic wines, Polo and the Terra Alfieri Arnese, and they are distributed all over the US by different distributors. But the importer are Winebridge and the Vintage Imports.
Very cool.
Amazing. And I found the website. And I was just, I noticed you referred to it as an amphitheater, and so I was looking at the pictures, and it's beautiful. It's just an absolutely beautiful property you have there. Amazing.
Yeah, we had the first harvest in 2016, and we started since the beginnings with organic farming. In 2012, we planted 6,000 new vines. And because it was before that a mix of abandoned land, and the vineyards were not very well kept, so we planted all the new vines, and we slowly created this new winery, and we are very proud today. It's more a smaller project, and we are very happy with the result. The wines are more graceful, elegant. So yes, I think they also fit the profile people lean towards today, because, for example, the Terra Alfieri Nebbiolo compared to Barolo is less robust, so it's more delicate and approachable.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations
and we also
experiment.
On that. Thank you. We also experiment with amphora, so to let the wine express more floral notes.
Sure. No, that's awesome.
Wonderful.
So cool.
Well, Lucrezia, thank you so much. I know I had said we were going to do a 30-minute interview, and you hung out with us for an hour while we fixed technical problems. So we very much appreciate the time you spent with us. Before we let you go, is there anything else you want our listeners to know? Any where they could find your information online, Instagram, website? How would you like folks to reach out to you if they want to learn more about your wine?
Okay, so they can reach out on the platforms. They can find both the winery pages, which are Cantine Povero and Cascina Vengore. And my personal profile is Lucrezia Povero. I'm always happy to connect with the wine lovers from all over the world. And I also hope to welcome you to our estate. As I told you, my cousin runs this agriturismo, Le Querce del Varello, which is focused also in hospitality. And I hope to be there. But if I'm not there, there is always someone from my family that is happy to meet all the wine lovers.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. And we will 100% take you up on that someday.
To you for this opportunity.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And we can't wait to share your wines on the show. And you're obviously welcome back anytime.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I will be happy to be back.
Excellent.
Love it. Amazing, right? Oh my God.
So good.
So good.
How cool.
And such an interesting story. Awesome family.
Everyone we meet is so cool.
Say it again.
So down to earth and so chill.
Say it again.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Huge wild. Shout out to Lucrezia for coming on the show. A huge shout out to everyone at Cantine Povero for sharing their wine with us. Super excited to drink these wines over the next few episodes and learn more about, the differences and how Nebbiolo is made and produced. I'm so stoked.
Yeah, same here. Excited to do it with you guys too.
Oh,
it's gonna be fun.
Oh, Joel, that's so sweet.
I'm feeling nice.
Hopefully,
today.
Colin's on all the episodes.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be
My
good.
God.
You think he can stick around?
I hope so. I want him to stay healthy.
Oh God, that's a cough coming on.
Oh no,
That's a cough coming on.
protect him.
I might be dead by the next episode.
Get
If you're
back in
listening
your
to
bubble.
this, send your cough drops to Orlando, Florida. I keep Colin safe.
I'll be fine.
Okay. Very good. Let's wrap this one up. This has been wonderful. Such a cool episode. Thank you again to Cantine Povero. Thank you to you guys for hanging out. Thank you, listener, for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you again next week. Listen, if you do want to hang out with us and you do want to interact, Colin, what's the best way?
Instagram. Go to Instagram.
Perfect. All right. You heard it here, folks. Check us out on Instagram. In the meantime, have a great time. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next week. And remember, stop wasting your wine.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.